Let's queer up entertainment. Jason Mraz celebrates being openly bisexual.
Mraz says he's grown more comfortable with vulnerability and personal expression over the years, leaving behind his conservative hometown in Virginia. Just a flashback, because you've since come out as bisexual, but in 1999, we were in a very different place in the country. During your decision-making to leave, how much of that had to do with homophobia?
A lot. I love my parents, but like, they're the last people I'd want to come out in front of. But now, in my adult life, they're the most supportive people. But when I'm young, you know, living in a very conservative town, it was not something I felt pursuing, those curiosities, not publicly.
Mraz never looked back, evolving and blossoming in Southern California ever since.
During a 2018 interview, the I'm Your Singer, Jason Mraz, came out as bisexual and explained he had sexual relations with men even after already being married to Christina Carano, who was supportive of him experimenting with his sexuality. After being married for 8 years, Mraz announced that he was divorcing Carano in June. In an interview with The Advocates, he says his new album, Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride, was influenced by his pushing himself to experience life differently. He said in the interview, and I quote, "I will admit that I probably spent the first close to 20 years of my career just broadcasting as hetero. You know, saying girl a lot in my songs, and a lot of that was growing up on a conservative street and growing up around homophobia, and feeling like I need to protect some secrets. I was having these curiosities and experiences on the side that were starting to influence who I am and the kind of fun I wanted to have in the world and the kind of person I want to be in the world, which is more honest and more loving and more inclusive," end quote. Well, welcome to the club. Your toaster will arrive shortly. Well, gay men get toasters. Do bisexuals get toasters? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, it's the stereotypical joke, you know, welcome to the club. We're going to send you a toaster. Anyways, good for him. I mean, I remember enjoying his music back in the early 2000s-ish. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was fun. It was poppy. It was, apparently he's only 2 years older than I am. Oh my Lord, I'm getting old.
Well, I like it that celebrities are coming out and showing that the general public, who maybe perhaps hates on us most of the time, who loves this guy, and he's coming out, so he's helping maybe in the acceptance in the face of all this other horrible stuff that's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think coming out is still just always important, and I love him coming out as bisexual, giving us an opportunity to talk more about gender and sexuality in a broad manner, and getting us farther away from the binary and allowing other people at home to see themselves in that. Because prior to people coming out, people just suffered, and they shouldn't have to suffer because it's all very, very normal. Right. I mean, we know in healthcare that sexuality is just a huge spectrum, and that there's very few people actually who are 100% heterosexual and very few people that are 100% homosexual, and everyone else is somewhere in the gray area. So allowing us to have these conversations, allow somebody else living on a conservative street to see themselves and go, hey, I don't have to kill myself. There's someone else in the world like me, you know, which was always our importance for coming out, right? And so good for him.
Yeah.
I'm loving how you think you're getting old. I'm loving how the young people are kind of,
oh,
I'm old.
The 46-year-old young people.
Yeah, the 46-year-old young people. I love that.
You know, to your point, coming out is important, but it is not required. Everybody has their own path. They make the choices to stay in the closet or to open up based on their own life and circumstances. The only time I'm ever in favor of outing people is when they've been hypocritical, when they've when they've condemned you and gays for made a career on it, and then turns out they're getting
a certain senator from Minnesota, the Minnesota airport incident.
Idaho. Wasn't it Idaho? Well, either way.
There's a whole bunch
but
of
when there's just so many.
a lot of them.
But my point is that it's important, and Jason Mraz hasn't been a hater. He's been an ally, certainly, and for him to come out now is a positive step for not just his fans, but for the community as a whole. And, just because he went around saying girl in his songs when he was younger, that doesn't mean we didn't know. I mean, because I say girl all the time.
Girl.
As in, like, girl.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show, brought to you from Happening Out Television Network. We operate in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ+ community. We educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching us on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the story going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.